General Insurance is the proud sponsor of Gardens of Antigua.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hi, welcome to Gardens of Antigua. Today I'm at the beautiful home of Andrew and Dina Goodenough, and it's really an amazing garden. It's very special, very unique, and one of the reasons for that, it's actually a palm garden. Andrew has over 100 different species of palm in this garden, so there's a lot to learn here. And if you're a palm lover, this is the garden to see. So come on in. Good morning, guys.
Morning, Joy. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Nice
thank you so much for
great pleasure to see you again.
For agreeing to show us the garden. I think what I didn't mention to our viewers, these are the other inhabitants of the house. This is Mia. Excuse my manners, I didn't introduce them. Mia.
Top dog.
Top dog.
Coco. Gaia.
And this one's walking off.
And there's another three, I'm afraid.
Or someone else. Okay, so now we're done with the protocol. We can continue with the garden tour. What we're going to see first is the first part, the first segment of the garden that you started.
Yes, the middle section.
The middle section. And then there's another segment that came later. And then the newest part of the garden, which is at the top. And we'll save that till the end. So let's get started.
Okay.
Before we go and see that section, I just want to comment about this marvelous cluster of bamboo and this wonderful eucalyptus. Now, how old are these?
This was one of the first plants in the garden in 1988, 89. So this has been here a long time, and it's actually almost too big now.
Yes, it's pretty large, but beautiful.
But fortunately, these walls are keeping it contained.
Right.
But it is a magnificent.
Yeah, but bamboo spreads like crazy. You managed to keep that grouped.
They form different formats, so I think this is a relatively clustering bamboo.
I see.
But it is wandering, as you can see.
Ah, fantastic. And the eucalyptus?
The eucalyptus was given to me as a seedling about 25 years ago. And in one hurricane, it shattered, and half the tree went to the south, and half the tree went to the north.
Oh,
and I thought I'd lost the entire thing.
Right, but it came right back.
Look at it now. It's come back.
So resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this striking palm here next to it.
That is a talipot.
Oh,
palm,
exciting.
Which eventually, as you know, will
right,
flower and die.
Right.
But the ground that it's in is not very favourable. And it's taking a long time to grow, which I actually like.
Yes, because there's so much beauty.
It's such a beautiful stage. Once it gets tall, it actually is not quite as attractive.
Right.
So
but for people who don't know, the talipot palm, of course, lasts for like 50 years or something.
Well, it depends on the soil. This
right.
one may
this
well
one
last longer.
Right.
If it's in ripe conditions, it can flower in 30 years.
Right, but generally it's on average 50, 55 years.
Yeah, I would
and
say so.
Once it's bloomed, it then dies.
Yes,
but it's an amazing tree. It grows about
60 feet.
Yeah, really tall. Yeah. And then with the blossom on top, it's really magnificent.
Spectacular sight. There's a young replacement in the
just
planter
ready
behind.
to take over.
Ready to take over. Exactly.
Oh, fantastic. Now, the retaining walls,
yes.
Where did that work in the scheme of things?
What I realised was because of the steep slope of the garden, that I would need to build some retaining walls. I started in this area, which is near the house, and everywhere that we've created terraces for the plants, things grew much better than anywhere else.
No erosion,
so very slowly, over about a 10-year period, I had a stonemason who, whenever he wasn't doing anything else and he had some spare time, he'd come and do another bit of walling.
And these stones all came from the actual property, yeah. Fantastic. Now, this of course is you call this the inner segment
This
of the
is
garden?
the middle area.
The middle area.
And there's a sort of all the water from the garden is collected as it goes downhill. So at the bottom below this, we created a pond and a catchment, and that became the sort of more the damper tropical area.
Right.
This is what I call the middle area.
So everything is kind of systematic or eco-friendly, planned in a very
Well, I
eco-friendly
don't like
way.
to use irrigation. I like to do what they call xeriscaping, which is let nature do its work. So in the drought it hurts because we lose a few things.
Right.
But the new garden, which is at the top, is more of a desert type of planting because there's no irrigation there, there's no water. And
But
so
the
that's
plants,
the sort of
yeah,
the plants I've planted, the more drought-tolerant palms
Yeah,
and
fantastic.
cactus and things like that.
Now, Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about these palms in this area here? Like this one?
Well, this, funny enough, it's called a palm, but it's not. It's a ponytail, and I've forgotten the name, but it's a spectacular.
Yeah,
The leaf shape
right.
is what I
It's
love.
just amazing.
That's the garden really has very few flowers. It's mostly about contrast
Right.
of leaf shape. So I
Right.
like to see the lignum vitae with a palm next to it,
Right.
and that contrast of colour
Right.
and leaf shape
And
is
it
what
creates
gives the
the
garden.
interest too. And this palm here.
This is a Parotis palm. A Solafari rightii, I think it's called. There's a label somewhere.
And then we've got the foxtail palm here. And what's this one here? Is that a?
This is a Cabada palm, Dipsis cabada, which has a fabulous trunk with the white rings.
And this
And
one,
this is a Phoenix
date,
reclinata.
yeah, right, fantastic. Or date palm,
Yeah, it's a type of date.
right. So,
Very spiky. This one's dangerous. If you the spike, the leaves closest to the trunk are extremely sharp,
right,
and they sort of, if you're cutting them, they give you an injection, and it really hurts.
wow. And then you've got the Bismarck nobilis here.
That's the Baileana, Copanesia Baileana, which
And-
I think is an amazing plant.
Yeah,
With the saw teeth along the edges
right,
of it.
right. And the color too, that grey
It's
tone.
a lovely grey tone.
Kind of chills things out.
The Bismarck is this
Oh,
one
that's the
through here,
Bismarck. Oh,
Yeah.
stunning.
which is gorgeous.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go through that way in a minute,
Yeah.
but I just want to point out some of these other palms.
That's the
because in
foxtail.
this very small circumference here, we've got about a dozen different palms. This one here,
That's the foxtail.
The lady.
Those are Rhaphis,
Oh, okay.
and this is what's nicknamed the footstool palm, the low one there, which is one of
Right.
my favourites. It's a very circular leaf shape
Right.
fan palm.
Right.
You'll notice that quite a lot of these palms have spikes, and what I learned recently is that the spikes are part of a drought-tolerant palm species. They help the palm to survive in droughts. I'm not quite sure of the biology of that, but I kind of
Wow,
learned that
interesting.
through experience, because the stronger palms quite often have spikes,
Right.
and like the Brahias and
Right.
Copanesias.
Well, I guess there's always a reason for the way a plant is structured. Oh, what about this one here with that marvelous?
That's a baby Cocothrinax alta. That's a small version of this one.
Ah, I see.
These are very, very common in Antigua. They grow very, very well here.
I love the color.
Yeah, it's got a slightly silvery
Yeah,
underneath.
tone, which is so nice next to this lignum vitae, the dark green of that.
Yeah.
It's a really lovely contrast. So just in this very...
This is a lovely, this is the Arenga tremula. This one
this
here,
one here, wow.
which is a fabulous thing.
Yeah, it is, it's gorgeous. And again, that darker green,
Yes,
a
very
different
dark.
tone from the other palms.
And these here, there's a cluster of three Vetchia johannis, which are very nice. Can you see the very broad leaf?
Oh,
It
yes,
has a
yes.
structure similar to a royal palm, but the leaflets are very broad And I think it's super elegant.
Yeah, very elegant, very beautiful. And I love the stem, the tall trunk of it.
Yes.
It's tall and it's, oh, look at this marvelous
Yes. And it's sculpturally
shape.
fabulous.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
And this is another nice character here. This is a Latania, Languoroides. It's the red latan.
Yeah, that's the one I mistook for the Bismarck. I guess I was looking at that grey tone and...
Look how it has that sort of very soft
yes, it's
down
almost like
on there.
a velour or something.
Yes.
And I love the colour. And look at the fabulous way it weaves around the trunk, the way the leaves go out. God, how wonderful. And this palm over here, Andrew?
I don't know what it is. I'd love to know. It must be a Thrinax of some kind. But I've asked everybody who's come through the garden. Nobody knows.
But it's a beautiful leaf.
It's when it
Really
flowers,
lovely
it
shape.
has this massive white fluorescence, whatever you like to call it.
Fantastic.
And I've looked in the books and just can't quite work out what it is.
You've got to point out this one with its little sharp serrated edges.
Yes, this is a cycad. If a dinosaur spotted this, he'd eat it for breakfast.
Wow.
This plant was
It's-
around with the dinosaurs.
Wow.
It's one of the
it's like a
earliest
cypress,
plant-
one of the earliest
It's a cycad,
plants,
yeah.
right, ever.
and
Fabulous. And the leaf itself is like plastic.
Yes, it is.
With a serrated edge and just, it's almost, you could,
Very unappetizing, actually.
right. But I'm sure they used this to make things back in the day.
I should think so.
Yeah, because it's very sturdy, durable, seems like. And the palm above it,
This is a blue latan.
you know, we might as well just
We
follow
might as
the
well
door,
follow the-
door. And the cardboard
Yes.
palm, which is,
Yeah, which isn't a palm. Again, it's a cycad. Look at the new one. It's
okay.
lovely and soft.
It just amazes me when you have this kind of thickness
Yeah.
in a leaf.
Yeah.
This one here, is that a Bismarck or?
No, this is a latan. This is the blue latan, which is, whereas that's the red latan.
Right.
It's very hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
No,
how
there's-
can you tell the difference?
You
That's
can
it.
only really tell the difference when they're young. When they're very young, the red latan has a little red edge to the leaf. This is the taller talipot. This one here,
Oh,
and this is the younger one. Actually, the younger one is, as
I
quite
see.
often happens with palms, the younger one is actually more attractive.
right, and
Because
the
look how
leaf,
the very, very circular leaf.
right,
I think it's
beautiful leaf. And again, that wonderful feel to it, like plastic.
Yeah.
Very durable.
Some of the leaves have been affected slightly by the recent drought, but it's all bouncing back pretty nicely.
And this, I love the two-toned leaf.
Yes,
the
this again, this
lightness
is the Cocoa Thrinax alta.
And the
Very
greennesses
nice.
on the other side. It's like a beautiful fan. Did you always intend for it to be a palm garden?
No, it sort of happened by accident. I got to know Howard Halford very well at Curtin Bluff, and he was a great palm enthusiast. So I think that rubbed off a bit, and I would cajole him into giving me seedlings and things like that.
I see.
So he was very encouraging, and it really started from there.
This middle palm.
That's a triangle. Can't remember the real name.
Okay.
Triangular palm. And this is the Bismarck here again.
It's so noble. It deserves its
These
name.
are the high forebay, the bottle palm.
Right. Now it's interesting. This is a very interesting trunk.
Yes, it
The wideness
swells
and the
at the
shape
base.
of it. And now these shoots from the side, are those
It's-
part of the blossoms?
Yes,
not
some
the leaves,
fluorescence,
yeah.
and the seeds come from that.
Right. Fantastic. I understand this tree here. Is that a ficus tree? A form
Yes.
of ficus? Yes.
Yes.
Very-
They
I
tend
just
to grow a bit
love
too
these
big.
shapes. They're just
They are
gorgeous.
fabulous. So this is the beginning of the more moist part of the garden, and I've created that by having quite a lot of shade trees.
Right.
And as you notice, as we walk in, the temperature drops several degrees.
Absolutely. Before we see the second part of the garden, let's take a commercial break. Gardens of Antigua will be right back.
Hutchinson's Antigua Limited has a range of products to suit your every need. We are wholesale distributors of top quality brands. Use Beep, Shortox, Airwick, and Lysol products to make your home clean, sparkling, and germ-free. Keep your dogs happy and healthy with Pedigree Dog Food. Hutchinson's Antigua Limited is located on Factory Road, St. John's. Visit or call us today at telephone 481-1550.
Need to live in comfort? The Home and Garden is the place to shop. It's a one-stop discount center. We cater for your outdoors, living room, bedroom, dining room, and kitchen. We also provide full gardening care from seeding to fertilizers to tools. Open the doors to your dream home when you shop at the Home and Garden Discount Center. Location: Michael's Mount next to Antigua Plumbing and Hardware Center. Telephone number 562-0268. Feel the awesomeness of a home makeover waiting to happen. See you there.
My family security is very important to me. That's why I insure.
My son's safety is very important to me. That's why I insure.
I want quick, prompt, and courteous service. That's why I choose General Insurance. Why don't you feel secure and insure?
Feel secure, insure with General Insurance.
General Insurance is the proud sponsor of Gardens of Antigua.
Hello, I am Jacqueline Johnson, the wedding guru of MarryCaribbean.com.
Want to know the best hotel, the best destination, the best service providers in the industry, the best shopping experience? From Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Tobago, the British Virgin Islands, and the United States Virgin Islands.
MarryCaribbean.com.
Oh, Carib World Travel, we promise to take you there. I said, Carib World Travel, we will move the world for you.
Welcome back to Gardens of Antigua. I'm in the beautiful garden of Dina and Andrew Goodenough, and we're out here at English Harbour, and in case I forget where I am, I have such a beautiful view of the ocean here. We're on the lower segment of Andrew's garden, and this actually, we're right next to the fruit trees. You were talking earlier about, as we come into this section, it's got its own kind of microclimate. There are lots of shade trees, so it creates a nice, cool, shady area. And of course, it gives this area a lot of character too. I noticed that the fruit trees here, Andrew.
We've got a mango here, we've got a few mangoes around the garden, and we've got an ackee tree, which I love the look of the ackee when it's fruiting, and I quite like the taste of the ackee as well.
And we got is that a plum tree around here?
Yep. We've got a fair variety of
another lignum vitae here, and some heliconia.
These suffered in the drought, but they're bouncing back.
Right, and this is such a nice shady area for them. They're not being knocked down by the sun. And this is what's this tree? Is it?
This is an almond.
Almond.
Almond. Yeah.
What's wonderful about the garden are all these little meandering pathways and steps and walls, again, which add a whole lot of interest.
When I was right at the beginning, when I was starting to think about how to develop the garden, I went to the Andromeda Garden in Barbados.
Right, yes.
And while I don't have a stream running through the garden, as they do, which of course would be fantastic, we can grow things like the Liquala grandis, and
is there a street name for this or another term for this?
There might be, but I'm not sure what it would be. There's a ruffle palm there, 2 palms, ruffle, which actually there's one round here which would be easier to get
beautiful.
to. They are fantastic.
Now Andrew has over 140 different species of palms, in case you're wondering. There's a whole garden made up of palms, and many other things as well, but primarily palms.
This is the little pond. All the water drains down these paths into this pond, and then that overflows into a tank, so that it keeps the pond full.
And are they fish there, or?
We've had mixed success with fish, and we have guppies to keep the mosquitoes down. This is an Acrocomia media, which is native to Antigua. It's a very elegant, has the shape eventually something like a royal palm, but it has a very spiky trunk and a lot of spikes on the leaves.
The firecrackers seem to be doing very well.
Very
there.
good.
Yeah.
They like the rain, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
What an amazing leaf.
Well,
this is a little...
this has, not only does it have these amazing spikes on the trunk and on the petioles, but also on the actual leaf itself. Very rare, that is.
Yeah, this is probably to protect it from predators, I guess.
Yeah, why you'd think, why it would have so many leaves and spikes on the leaves is unknown to me. But maybe it's to do with the drought tolerant in order to help with that.
It's a beautiful palm.
Fantastic.
And this one next to it is?
This is a fishtail palm, the big one here, and then a group of foxtails.
Look at the way it seeds.
Oh, they're like tresses. They're like hairlocks.
It's like a hairstyle.
Yes.
Someone beaded the hair.
Yeah.
Looks lovely.
And then this is a buccaneer palm, Pseudophoenix vinifera. It's not looking its best here, because it's maybe not quite the right place. But it has a very, very nice pale grey trunk.
Right.
This is a Tahina spectabilis, which is called, the nickname is the blessed palm. And it's a very new palm. It was only sort of recognised about 6 years ago.
Wow.
And I managed to get the seed. And it's...
Now, does it grow like the other palms, the same kind of trunk?
I have yet to find out.
Oh, okay.
And the one behind you there is the
Look at the
marvelous
trunk
chap.
of that.
The nickname is an old man palm.
Wow.
Cocostrynax
Can
crenata.
I cut through here?
And it's...
This is amazing.
I hate to think what's hiding in there, but...
Yeah, but we'll just leave it like that. It's gorgeous. And of course the leaves are gorgeous too. It's just stunning. I can't help looking at it. It's so unexpected. You expect to see the typical trunks.
And this one you're holding actually is a very nice. It's a dipsis.
And look at this, the top part of this stem, of this trunk rather, looks like velour, very smooth and soft.
Yes, the nickname of this is a Lastelliana.
I see.
And the nickname for it is the teddy bear palm. Because it looks that brownish thing, fabric.
Right, it reminds you of a teddy bear.
Yeah. I love them.
These palms, there's so much interest there. I mean, just look at the stark difference between that trunk and this trunk, and they each have their uniqueness. And I guess that's what makes them so special in the garden. Yeah, but it's still a pretty slow-growing palm when you think, you know, in 3-4 years in Antigua, most trees are
quite a lot of palms are quite slow to start. Oh, this is a Barringtonia. You know the pain tree? Have you come across that?
Barringtonia.
Barringtonia.
No.
I think you put the leaf on a swollen limb, and it helps to.
Wow.
I haven't tried it.
Let's hope you don't ever need to. And again, the different levels of the garden.
Well, the different levels, but this was a very steep slope, and nothing grew here at all.
Right.
As soon as I put the retaining walls in, everything just started.
You had additional garden space.
So this is actually only about 7 years.
And look at the wonderful trunk on this Bermudan palm. The thick outer part, which always looks like a weave, and then again it's got something like coconut hair inside. Beautiful.
Light brown.
Beautiful trunk. Now I'm following Andrew, and we're going to the newest segment of the garden, and it's the last segment we're going to look at, but I can't resist this view. It's just gorgeous. Once again, another beautiful reminder of where we are in English Harbour. That's part of the harbour down there, and the surrounding mountains. So let's take another commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be in the last segment of Andrew's Garden. See you soon.
Hutchinson's Antigua Limited has a range of products to suit your every need. We are wholesale distributors of top quality brands. Use Beep, Shortox, Airwick, and Lysol products to make your home clean, sparkling, and germ-free. Keep your dogs happy and healthy with pedigree dog food. Hutchinson's Antigua Limited is located on Factory Road, St. John's. Visit or call us today at telephone 481-1550.
Need to live in comfort? The Home and Garden is the place to shop. It's a one-stop discount center. We cater for your outdoors, living room, bedroom, dining room, and kitchen. We also provide full gardening care from seeding to fertilizers to tools. Open the doors to your dream home when you shop at the Home and Garden Discount Center. Location: Michael's Mount next to Antigua Plumbing and Hardware Center. Telephone number 562-0268. Feel the awesomeness of a home makeover waiting to happen. See you there.
My family security is very important to me. That's why I insure.
My son's safety is very important to me. That's why I insure.
I want quick, prompt, and courteous service. That's why I choose General Insurance. Why don't you feel secure and insure?
Feel secure, insure with General Insurance.
General Insurance is the proud sponsor of Gardens of Antigua.
Hello, I am Jacqueline Johnson, the wedding guru of MarryCaribbean.com.
Want to know the best hotel, the best destination, the best service providers in the industry, the best shopping experience? From Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Tobago, the British Virgin Islands, and the United States Virgin Islands.
MarryCaribbean.com.
Oh, Carib world travel, we promise to take you there. I said, Carib world travel, we will move the world for you.
Welcome back to Gardens of Antigua. This is the last part, and it's the newer part of Andrew's garden. It's a dry garden, and he's got most of his cactus and succulents here, as well as some palms. Andrew, why don't you tell us a bit about the garden?
Well, I'd love to tell you what this is, but I can't remember the name. But it is, I have to point it out.
It's
because
gorgeous.
it's just very exotic.
Well, obviously it's a form of cactus,
Yes.
but those the little leaves on it,
the way the spines run up in spirals. I did once find the name.
Yeah,
and
it's quite sculptural.
Very sculptural. It's almost sort of alien.
Yes, it really is. But it's a very nice opening, a piece of your dry garden.
Yes, it's an introduction. There's still a bit of space up here to fill, but it's work in progress.
Right. So up here, mainly cactus, succulents, agave.
And a number of brahea palms, because brahea mostly come from Mexico, which are a fairly dry zone. So the idea here is to contrast the palms, which are mostly a greyish palm, with the cacti, different types of cacti, and some cycads. This palm here, this brahea amata, was tiny for 5 or 6 years, and I thought it was never going to grow. And then about a year ago, it just decided, okay, prepared to go now.
And it
he's
started, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, gorgeous.
It's a sort of creeping, it creeps along the ground, but it also shoots up.
Is this, would you say this is a form of cactus?
It's a succulent.
A succulent,
Yes.
yeah.
So it does very, very well
Right.
here. There's no, even in the drought, it looks perfectly green.
But it will spread out too.
It'll spread. I'm going to use it as a ground cover because the less ground there is open to the sun, the less weeds there are. Because keeping the weeds down is a big issue.
And again, these wonderful retaining walls and levels.
Well, this is the last area that we did. This is a very nice. This is a Cyagrus schizophilia. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a very nice,
it's gorgeous.
very vertical.
Interesting how the fern are growing from the tree.
That happens with quite a few. Yes, quite a few palms.
Right.
Are used like that by the ferns.
Really nice.
So there's a couple of specialty palms up here. I love this one. Look at the underside, very.
Oh yes, very nice.
Blue.
The two tones of the leaves, the silvery green and the greener inner. Oh, and there's that wonderful pink acacia. It's not a palm, but my goodness, it's gorgeous.
It's very handsome, isn't it? Yeah. Now here's a nice, interesting palm. This is the zombie palm. It comes from Haiti, and it's, what's the name of it?
I'm wondering why would they call this a zombie palm?
I don't know. It's called Zombia antillarum. It's from Hispaniola, and it has a very spiky. It has root spines that come up.
Wow.
It's quite a relatively typical fan palm, but the roots become sort of aerial roots that not only go down but stick up as well.
Amazing.
Again, partly to do with drought tolerance probably.
This is amazing. What's this?
Well, I'm not sure what it is, to be perfectly honest, but the birds like to nest in the top of it, which I find extraordinary because the spikes must be a bit uncomfortable.
Well, the spikes, I was thinking, would it keep rats or any other
they would, yes.
predator
No,
out?
I think that's why they like it. That's why the birds like it. Yeah.
This is a smaller.
That's a small ponytail. Yes,
right,
exactly. And this is. I'm not sure if this is a Copanesia alba or not, because it's not quite the same as the other.
Yeah, but isn't this gorgeous? Those long.
It looks like a jet engine.
It's just very interesting. It's like an umbrella shape.
Yes.
And then
all the outer leaves droop.
Right, and they have these beautiful long stems.
Yeah.
And it really creates a whole pattern.
Yeah. Very, very sculptured.
Yeah, I love the way they come out. It's beautiful. And what was this called again? This is a.
Well, I think it's a Copanesia. It may be alba. But I'm not.
I hope you're not going to give me a quiz at the end of this.
Yes, definitely. And this is a Miraguama, Cocothrinax Miraguama.
And again, another two-toned leaf with the.
Yes, but
look at that weave.
Look at the weave, the matting. That is strong.
It's just stunning.
It looks like
just
bulletproof
and
material.
yeah, absolutely. You could almost make something from this.
Yes.
And down here.
Nature at its best.
At its very best. Well, I do admire you, Andrew, being able to remember all the botanical names. I'm such a slouch when it comes to that. I'm always...
Having the little labels, of course, is
helps. And
that's why I put them there.
Right.
Because otherwise I wouldn't make it. This beast...
Wow, look at this trunk.
This is a Borassus flabifilera. And this is this...
And look at the leaves, so huge.
It's a massive tree. It's going to get huge. But this armature on this
right, absolutely, the feel
vicious.
of it.
I mean, it feels like a saw.
Yeah, it looks like one of those saws.
Yeah, and the black. I mean, it's so rare to have a black trunk like that.
That's really. And this was called again?
Borassus flabifilera. This is a Livistonia decipiens.
It's almost like a weeping palm, if there is such a thing.
I think they call it a weeping cabbage palm.
Oh, okay.
It's very good a Chrysophilia, root spine
Root
palm.
spine palm.
And that's similar to the zombie palm. Do you remember?
Right, yeah.
It has these spines that come down off the trunk, and then they go down into the ground.
Oh, wow, I see. Now, why do you think that is? Is there any purpose for that?
Sometimes it's a defense mechanism. Well, it is part of the root system. Yes.
And this is a perfect place to finish. So let's take a seat. We're going to cool out, have something refreshing. Thank you all very much for joining us on Gardens of Antigua. From Dina Goodenough, Andrew Goodenough, and myself, Joy Farrell, it's goodbye for now. Happy gardening.
The Goodenoughs will be holding an open garden Sunday, November the 17th in English Harbour. Tickets to this amazing palm garden will go on sale at the beginning of November at Antigua Home and Garden Discount Centre. Don't miss an opportunity to see this unique garden. For further information, check out our Gardens of Antigua page on Facebook. Proceeds from the admission go towards Dina's Spay and Neuter program for the dogs of Antigua. If you would like to leave a comment about this show or just join in our garden conversation, then check us out, Gardens of Antigua, on Facebook. And don't forget to like us. If you would like to book your Gardens of Antigua tour, call Carabol Travel 480-2999.